And welcome to Radio Free Nintendo. It is September 18th, 2025, and I am James Jones. I'm joined today by the returning Mr. John Lindeman.
It's great to be here, James.
It's great to have you back, John. Also joined by Mr. Guillaume Vayette.
Good evening.
And we will not be joined today by Greg Leahy because his Bills are playing a game of professional football against the MASH unit that is known as the Miami Dolphins. I think they've lost 3 more people in this game, John. It's real bad down there.
Yeah.
It's real no good.
Well, you know what? They deserve it, James.
For what?
They just deserve it. They're Miami. They don't deserve any success or happiness. Look,
I mean,
they
that's
got the
true.
Heat. They got the Heat. They got their back-to-back LeBron titles. You know, I'm taking my talents to Miami. Yeah.
It's heat culture, John. It's heat culture. Had nothing to do with the fact that during the Olympics, 2 of the top 3 players in the league at that point conspired to end up in the same place. It's all about heat culture, which is why they've won so many titles since they left.
Yep.
Fucking Tua, I'm always worried that he's gonna die at any moment.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's fun. This is episode... Yeah. Oh, go ahead.
Oh, no, I'm just saying he probably should no longer be playing professional football. But
he should definitely no longer be playing professional football. So for those of you who don't know, you have what they refer to in football and sports as like your your concussion punch card. Like if you get a certain number of concussions, the professionals are going to be like, you need to retire.
Mm-hmm.
He's gotten back around and has already gotten a free concussion on his punch card. He's wrapped around now. He's on his second card. So anytime he gets hit, it's just like, oh God. This is episode 944 on much happier tones. Episode to be decided after the horrifying Krusty the Clown image I produced last week. And since John wasn't around to talk about the direct, and that direct was so, it was medicinal grade weird. Like
there was a lot thrown in there.
Maybe even weapons grade weird. I mean, so John, you and I didn't text about it, but there was an entire segment devoted. We texted about a good amount of the direct. We did not text about non-interactive talking flower.
Right out of nowhere. Right out of nowhere. I mean, like if you would have told me that they would have had a direct where they showed a faux Virtual Boy, and that was not the weirdest, most baffling thing on the direct, I would have been really surprised. So,
non-interactive talking flower.
Yeah.
We look alike.
What? The thing is, how is it going to? Is it just going to say random things? That's the only way. I mean, unless
sometimes it even talks on its own. It's like, what?
Yeah.
Pardon?
It's like, I don't want that. 3:30 in the morning. You know, you really should call your mother. What?
What if it just keeps talking until you press the button like an alarm?
Yeah.
Like, Alarmo only goes off when you want it to. I go off when I feel like it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if you buy this and Alarmo, God bless you, because you make choices.
Does
now,
either of those devices warn the authorities if you don't check on them every couple hours?
Yeah, probably. Yeah, if you don't press the button, it's like the virtual lockbox where if you don't check in 10 days, it assumes you've died and it emails all your bank account information to your next of kin. It's one of those.
Good.
Except it's a talking flower. Who's named Talking Flower. John, were you prepared for the fact that thing, of all the Nintendo characters, doesn't have a fucking name?
Yeah. I mean, it's just...
What?
And they just sort of just presented it like, yeah, and by the way, you'll be able to buy Talking Flower soon. And then they just moved on to the next thing, and you're like, wait, what?
Like it was the most normal thing in the world.
It's like it was like it was the most normal part of the podcast, and they just kept moving on. Anyways, yeah. So anyways, Virtual Boy, what?
Good old TF. Who wouldn't want to buy one?
Yeah, good old TF. I just can't believe he doesn't have a name.
Yeah.
It's like, what does that mean? What is he talking flower? Everything in Nintendo gets a fucking name. This guy doesn't?
Yeah.
It's bonkers. It's bonkers.
It is.
So besides TF, which sounds bad. What are your thoughts on the Direct? Besides the medical grade weirdness,
what I thought was funny is that most people thought that it would be a 1 hour expose on Metroid Prime 4, but it wasn't really that at all.
People are mad it wasn't, which is very funny.
Yeah, and I mean, really, Metroid Prime 4 didn't really get much airtime whatsoever. They showed, I mean, they showed the the interesting stuff with the kind of open world Metroid motorcycle play, which looked pretty cool and interesting, and I wonder how they're going to incorporate that into gameplay and whether or not that indicates that there's a little bit more of an open world element than there has been in past games. But they showed that and didn't really show a whole heck of a lot else, and then just said December 4th and then moved on to the next thing. Like,
right, because they're going to talk about it again. So like they just said like, yeah, here's a date.
Yeah.
Like other games are coming out between then and now. Here's a date.
Yeah, and it really felt like a Direct that was. It felt like something earlier in the year.
It did. It felt like they were giving us like the next 6 months, not the next 2.5.
Yeah.
But they did kind of give us, they gave us a full slate of software between now and the end of the year, and they gave us a pretty good chunk of January, February, and maybe into March. Like, there's a lot of stuff coming out January 22nd in particular for some reason.
Yeah.
I think 3 things had the January 22 date in that Direct.
Yeah. There's a whole lot of jam-packed stuff in there. But just it was a very, very random Direct. All over the place. Didn't really have a theme. Just random stuff being thrown in from every direction. I mean, the Virtual Boy stuff.
Here's some stuff.
The Virtual Boy stuff, I'm not kidding you. I thought it was a joke until they showed somebody taking, or until they showed that sort of, that graphic where they had the Switch, minus the Joy-Cons. Yeah, until they had it docking in there, and then I thought, oh my god, this is real. You will be able to actually do this.
Yeah.
You'll be able to buy this thing, put your Switch inside it, and play the 10 Virtual Boy games that are available.
The 13.
Yeah, I mean,
let's talk about the fucking Virtual Boy for a second.
Let's talk about it
here. All right, so if you read the article I posted with the episode, I talk about the fact that I own a Virtual Boy and was not sure it even worked because I hadn't used it in over a decade. And that I couldn't prove if it worked or not because it's 2025 and I don't have 6 AA batteries that are known good just lying around for no good reason. Which is a past tense statement now because as I was writing the article, I put the laptop down, got in my car, drove a mile onto campus to the 23-hour CVS, bought 6 batteries at 10 p.m. on a Saturday right on the middle of campus like an absolute psychopath, and went home and played Virtual Boy. Ladies, if you're looking for somebody to spend an exciting Saturday with,
it's this guy.
Here's your guy.
So
I stopped for ice cream on the way back, because I'm that kind of spicy.
Yeah. So what would you recommend for this system? Let's just say I was about to go, and this thing is $100, right?
Yeah. The shell is, yeah. Now, unless you want to get the cardboard, which is $30.
So
you could get the cardboard.
But so the shell is $100, and you need the expansion pack to play these, correct?
Correct, which I do not presently have.
This is I don't either. This is right up there for one of the most preposterous things that Nintendo has ever released. People say that Nintendo is boring. They're not boring.
Nintendo's insane.
They're insane. They're way more unpredictable. They do stuff that makes absolutely no sense.
They're like, hey, did you guys miss the whole tariff shit? What are you talking about?
What
is the raison d'etre of this product?
I don't know how this ever got greenlit. Like who
And
says
stayed greenlit.
who says yes and stayed greenlit? Who says let's sell a fake Virtual Boy for $100
Our
a
greatest
piece?
shame. Yeah. Our greatest fucking shame. Let's go make this thing commercialized, but only make it on the premium version of our premium online service. The worst part is, this is the thing that's going to make me finally break and get the fucking, the expansion pack. I know
That's
it.
the thing. Like,
Nintendo knows their audience. Yeah.
the only people who would buy this thing are the sickos.
This is for
Yeah.
the sickos. Absolutely. All the people on this podcast, in other words. I'm not saying I'm not going to buy it. I'm not saying that. But
Oh,
I'm
I
just
know.
saying this. I can't believe that Nintendo releases sicko products like this.
Yeah, but like, so after I got it, so I played Teleroboxer. That was the only game I put in there. Cause it's still a little finicky. It's kind of a pain in the butt to get started. Like I think there's a connection loose somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
I forgot how fucking hard Teleroboxer is, but here's the thing. Virtual Boy cartridges have backup batteries in them to save your progress. All of mine are fucking dead.
Yeah.
And so these games, because Nintendo truly understood the Virtual Boy, all of these games have progress and saving in them, because the expectation is you're going to play them for a long time and many sessions. So I can't make it past the second boxer in Teleroboxer because it actually wants a lot of you. But also, if I stop playing Teleroboxer, I have to go back and play the first guy again. This is so fucked up. So,
So you're going to get really good at Teleroboxer, is what you're
I'm
telling
going to
us.
get really good at the first guy in Teleroboxer.
Yes.
Because I'm really struggling with the second one. But the controls are insane. So I talk about it in the article I wrote. And I go into this little diatribe about the controller. Because Greg made kind of an offhand comment of like, he was using a standard Switch 2 Joy-Cons with the connector. And he was like, I'm surprised they didn't make a Virtual Boy controller. Because you're already selling a $100 piece of plastic. Fuck it. Make a Virtual Boy controller, too. These people will buy it. They're insane.
Why-
They bought these goddamn N64 controllers.
Well, I look at it like I'm just looking at a summary here, and so I mean it's $25 for the cardboard thing for Virtual Boy.
Yes.
I look at that as, you know what, in for a penny, in for a pound.
Right. That's quitter behavior.
It's quitter behavior. If I'm even going the Virtual Boy direction, I'm going all in. I'm jumping into the deep end of the pool. I'm not dipping my toes in.
Virtual Boy direction.
Yeah. And so I'm thinking, the whole Virtual Boy experience, don't mess around. Sell a Virtual Boy controller. Just do it.
Yeah, so 'cause the reason is, as I played with that controller for about an hour, it's fucking weird, man. It's so weird, because if you've never held a Virtual Boy controller, which I'm going to assume is 90% of the people listening to this show,
Yeah.
that's where the batteries live. The batteries for the Virtual Boy live in the controller, which is connected by a cable that looks a lot like an NES controller connector. They are in the center core in a pack that slides on and off the back of the controller. They sold an AC adapter that connects to the back of the controller.
Yeah, I'm looking at one here from eBay.
Yeah, and somebody went and made a lithium, like there's a mod for a lithium ion battery that you can slot into that thing, because there's a weird community of Virtual Boy modders, including a Virtual Boy flash card with Homebrew.
Crazy.
Which now I'm thinking about buying a Virtual Boy flash card with Homebrew. And the NiCad battery, because I'm fucked up, because Nintendo knows I'm this kind of sicko. So I'm gonna buy the plastic shell, and I'm gonna buy all this Virtual Boy paraphernalia from third parties, just so I can experience the maximum amount of virtual boying.
Mm-hmm.
This is a terrible plan I'm putting together. This is just awful. But the controller itself, besides having a big dumb battery pack on it, which isn't without substantial weight, because it's got 6 AA batteries in it.
Yeah. It has two D-pads, select, start, B, and A.
Yes. But it's essentially a mirror image. the D-pads and two face buttons on each side. Select and start on one, A and B on the other.
Yep.
And then it's got contoured handles, kind of like the GameCube, but they're slightly thin, so they feel a little bit weird in the hand, but they're very contoured. And they've got triggers on each side, but the trigger is round.
Yeah.
Which doesn't make any sense. Your finger can't rest on it. It's a weird piece of hardware. Just beyond the concept of stereoscopic 3D through red, that controller is weird. It's like, why not? Why not just fucking sell the controller too? Like, just go all the way. Just go all the way. Go completely off the rails. Sell me a Virtual Boy. Sell me a Virtual Boy controller. Make it so I could use the Virtual Boy controller and Smash. I don't care. Fuck it. Let's go.
And James, just as a side note, on eBay, my inspired by your recent views, it's all Gears of War chainsaw rifles, basically. It's all Lancers.
Perfect. You got to learn to navigate eBay in incognito mode.
Yeah. I really do.
So yeah, they should have made a controller. They should have. Greg was spot on. He got it in one. There should have been a Virtual Boy controller. Nintendo, let me give you another $50 to complete the experience.
I mean, why not? I mean, if you're walking down that street, you might as well buy a house.
You're already on Smack. Are you really going to pass the second Smack dealer? No, you're not.
No.
You're going to be like,
no.
I mean,
no.
I should have more than my regular guy. I should have at least one additional guy. You're going to stop. You're going to stop to take a minute. It's like, if Nintendo's your dealer, like, just sell me another hit, Nintendo. I mean, fuck it. I'm here. I'm going to give you the premium service. I'm going to buy this fucking piece of plastic that I can stick my face in. I'm going to have a bad time because the other thing is these games aren't very good.
No, they're not. They're not good.
Tellero Boxer's like the third best game on the system, and I was miserable.
There's a reason why nobody bought the Virtual Boy.
Well, there's a lot of reasons why nobody bought the Virtual Boy. It's not fair to give any one reason primacy over the collective energy.
The lifespan was so short that it's as if like the Game Boy had only the Game Boy released with Tetris, so it had that.
Yeah.
But
Virtual Boy released with two Tetrises.
Yeah. I want to try them. That's
it should have lived twice as long.
Yeah, but like if the Game Boy only had like baseball, alleyway, radar mission, like that's basically what the Virtual Boy is. So yeah, you don't go very far with that. So yeah, I am also considering paying the $110 Canadian. I guess like it's cheaper than it would have been. I guess we are not affected by tariffs, but it's still very expensive.
Yeah, there's a lot of hardware in that thing.
Yeah, so I'm considering paying $100 basically for Wario Land, which is ridiculous. But yeah, that's what I would play. And yeah, I do want to check out 3D Tetris and stuff, but I don't know. Yeah. Like, fuck it. At this point in life, like, what else am I going to spend my money on? Like,
yeah, like, fuck it. We're here now.
Yeah.
I could buy a horse. I could save up to buy a horse. Or I could buy a Virtual Boy. Like, fuck it. I don't want a horse.
If you don't work to make money to buy dumb stuff like this, what are you working for?
Mm-hmm.
You know what?
You could invest your money. You could save up to buy a house or something. All of that wonderful adult stuff that people say you should do. Don't bother. Don't bother.
You raise a very stupid point, John, and I would like to subscribe to your newsletter.
Yes. Don't worry. It's going on Substack, brother.
Oh, good. Is that how you're going to finance your stupid purchases? By a subscription on Substack?
Absolutely.
God damn it.
$100 here, $100 there.
I once considered if, like, I was making bad decisions with my money, and I feel like that I'm going to have to, and like, I had a real, like, mental anguish over it, and I feel like the first time I walk in my door, and, like, I can see the shelf my games live on, because it's in the living room, which is attached to the foyer.
Mm-hmm.
I can see the Virtual Boy standing on top of the shelf because it's big and red. I think the first time I walk up there and see two Virtual Boys, I'm going to have those same bad feelings.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not going to know what to do with myself. I'm going to come in, I'm going to be standing at the bottom of the bookshelf looking up at them thinking, the fuck have I done?
Mm-hmm.
What the fuck have I done? Oh, well, it's time to play Virtual Boy again. And then I'm going to get it out and start playing Virtual Boy.
Oh, well, Tolera Boxer it is.
Oh my God, it's so bad. I will say, if you look at the video, there's a little, you can see the Switch sticking out the bottom of the Virtual Boy.
Mm-hmm.
I want people to note that I had to draw that on the Virtual Boy because Nintendo only released a product shot of it without it, which looks like a regular Virtual Boy and not a product shot with it in place. So I had to draw the Switch into the image for the benefit of the knockoff Krusties that I stole and modified out of fucking WikiHow. The WikiHow thing is really starting to work against my favor at this point. Like the whole idea was it'd make art fast. That image is like 2 hours of my life. What am I doing?
Yeah. Well, it's sort of like, it's the old stare into the abyss, kind of.
I redrew the entire parlor that scene takes place in because I couldn't find a clean image. It's like, this is absurd. I'm learning art by trying to not draw. This is the fucking worst. Man. All right, John, besides the staggering weirdness, we didn't talk about the book that's going to be missing the new pages in the book. What else stood out in Metroid?
Let's see. I mean, let me just watch the trailer again here.
I'm gonna have to buy that book. Not for myself. That's the worst part. I'm going to be buying that book for someone else.
That's the thing that I thought was interesting too, is they seem to be really digging into merchandising more.
So we talked about this last week when you weren't around. So Nintendo, there's Kirby, the company that did all the merch for Kirby. Now Kirby's had merch like crazy. Warp Star, which Nintendo was a partial owner of, and so was HAL. Nintendo acquired it and changed its name to just Nintendo Stars. I'm wondering if that's why. If the team that's made it so you can buy Kirby every goddamn thing in the world short of sex toys and condoms, has taken over some of the licensing. Because, remember that My Mario stuff? That's all in-house.
Yeah.
Previously, anytime Nintendo did Mario merch, it would be through Jack's Pacific or somebody. Those really nice-looking wood toys for babies that are going to end up in the home of a bunch of adult children. They just are. They are.
Yeah, they are.
They are.
Lego, hello. Yep.
Those are officially Nintendo released products, not like Nintendo licensed products. Nintendo didn't have the hardware or the wherewithal to do that. I'm wondering if that's the Nintendo Stars advantage. They announced that name change literally the week of the announcement of the My Mario shit. So it feels like this is all synergistic. John, I'm not planning to buy the Mario wood blocks, but they are amiibo. So they know these are going to end up in the hands of adults. They know it.
Yeah, because
they made them fucking amiibo.
Yeah.
What's the over-under of how many of our... All right, if you buy those and you listen to the show, if you buy the wooden block Mario figures and you listen to the show, email us. Tell us you did it. We will not read your name on the show if you don't want us to, but give us your review of them. Tell us how high quality they are as far as wooden blocks are concerned. We need to know. I'm guessing we get at least 3 people emailing us going, I bought them. I think they're very high quality wood blocks. They smell very nicely of cypress. They're made of cypress.
Metroid Prime 1 to 3, a visual retrospective on October 28th.
Yeah.
I would like to have that book. That would be a very cool book to have.
You should have that book, John.
Uh-huh.
It is nowhere near as dumb a purchase as me buying the Bravely Second art book in Japanese. Not Bravely Default. The weird sequel with the self-insert character whose name is literally you.
Yeah. So
I bought that art book.
Yeah. And so just looking at this, interesting. So the amiibo are Samus from Metroid Prime 4, obviously. But Samus and the bike is called Viola?
Yes.
All right. I did not realize that. I had not looked at that.
So that was originally announced through the picture of the amiibo, but then they also had it on the on the Nintendo Today app. Which real fans check the Nintendo Today app every day. Because now there's a Kirby theme.
Great.
Yes, I know you love Kirby.
Yeah, and then the other one is Silux, who was interesting to me because, yeah, I knew it. So he's not much is known about Silux, as he has only appeared twice. Once in Metroid Prime Hunters, and a brief possible appearance in Metroid Prime 3 Corruption.
Yeah, we see his boat, or his ship. His boat, like he's fucking sailing the ocean.
Yeah.
We see his spaceship. But yeah, like, Silux is what he is. Raritan, I believe, put together this weird Silux, like, retrospective video that you can go watch if you want. If you're big into Silux. If you're big into Silux, it's there for you, I guess.
Yeah.
I am not big into Silux, personally.
This is interesting. A skilled marksman and bounty hunter experienced in espionage skills such as scouting and tracking. While much of its background remains a mystery, it is clear that it hates Samus and the Federation.
Silux, more like Sci-Fuck.
Yeah. Right?
I'm throwing up double birds at Silux right now.
Yeah. Yeah, very interesting. Yeah, so that's an interesting little teaser. I'll be curious to see. Hopefully they do have maybe a shorter direct, like a half-hour direct on Metroid 4. That'd be pretty cool.
I mean, they announced we're getting a second fucking Kirby Air Riders direct. We'll get a Metroid direct.
Yeah, there has to be a Metroid direct. Although it wouldn't surprise me if there just wasn't one.
Do you remember how long that Air Riders direct was?
Yes,
how the
that
fuck is there anything left to say?
I know. There isn't anything. I mean, they practically, gave Sakurai a talk show.
Is he going to empty them? Is he going to do a musical segment this time?
Yeah, I don't know.
That would be really funny. That'd actually be really fucking funny if he's like, and now I'm going to take out my guitar and play this song about Kirby Air Riders.
Yeah, and now Wonderwall.
but I've replaced all the lyrics with Kirby.
Yep.
Fuck it.
Yeah, so, yeah, all that stuff. Yeah, so it's good. It's good to see, it's good to see Metroid Prime get a date and become a real thing. I feel like it's a little bit understated. I don't... A little bit. I don't feel like Nintendo is necessarily trying to hype it. They're just sort of...
I think they'll get there. I think they've got other stuff in the way first right now.
Yeah.
Oh, go ahead.
I kind of feel like Nintendo's attitude towards Metroid in general, is that it has its fans, and anything that we do is not going to bring in new fans, but the fans that are there are diehard, so... Yeah.
I mean, they've tried. They've definitely tried in the past. Mm-hmm. Remember the era where we got, like, 9 fucking Metroid games in 5 years? They definitely made an effort.
Yeah, hot Metroid summer. So...
Hot Metroid summer.
It was longer than a summer.
Shit.
But yeah, it was to the point where you're like, guys, you do realize that you can space out these Metroid games, right? It was almost like someone had like a 5-year contract, and after that they were going to get fired, so they had to cram every single Metroid game they wanted to make into that 5-year contract.
You can make as many Metroid games as you want.
Yeah.
But you have 1,000 days to do it.
Yes. They're like, all right, challenge accepted. And then you just get, Metroid Prime Pinball 2.
But what am I going to do in 1,000 days? I don't care. But you better be fucking done.
Yeah, there's just these...
Just start hammering through them.
Yeah, there's just massive... you have times of... where when it rains, it pours with Metroid, and then you have times of just massive gaps.
We're in a better place with Metroid right now. We got Metroid Federation Force, which I know people lost their goddamn mind over, mm-hmm. and then we got Samus Returns, and then a few years after that we got Dread, and now we're a few years removed from that, and we're getting 4. That's the right cadence for Metroid. It doesn't need to be faster than that.
No, it's okay being about 5 years. I mean, from Metroid to Metroid 2 was 5 years, then maybe 3 years to Super Metroid, then a huge gap between 95, like 7 years, and then you had between 2002 and 2010, you had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 games. You had 9 games in 8 years, inexplicably. And then you had another 6-year gap, maybe, or another 6-year gap. And then you had 2 games in 2 years. and then another gap, and now we're actually pretty good. In 2021, you had Dread. 2 years go by, you had Prime Remastered. 2025, yeah, we're about a 2-year cadence, which is cool. 2-3 years is fine.
Yeah, like these games don't need to come out that often because one, there's a lot of them. You can just go play some of the old ones.
Yeah,
and two, we know what the fan base is for these games. It's not that there isn't one. It's that it's not gonna pull Mario Kart numbers. It just won't. It's not gonna pull Breath of the Wild numbers. So like there's a finding the right cadence for these, that they're frequent enough, but that they're not like a million of them, because then people start to go like, well, this one didn't do very well. Well, yeah, because it's the 7th Metroid game in 3 weeks.
Yeah.
What are you doing?
Yep.
John, we didn't talk about it much last week, but because you weren't here, I'm worried Monster Hunter Stories finally got me.
Really? This is an interesting development.
This one looks really fucking pretty.
Mm-hmm.
Like the video they showed of the Switch 2 version of that game looks really goddamn pretty.
Mm-hmm.
And like part of me just kind of wants to see it. But I know you've played a little bit of this.
Yeah.
The series.
It's kind of like a whimsical boy is the hero, you're the chosen one sort of thing with your monster friend.
Your monsties.
Yeah, very, your very typical kind of 3D JRPG sort of fare.
I kind like it. Just looks really nice.
Yeah, they're really really good looking games.
Like this ones on the 3DS looked really great for being on the 3DS.
Mm-hmm.
This is a Switch 2 game, and it fucking shows.
Yeah,
like it looks gorgeous. Now, I'm still gonna wait for a review and probably a sale because it's Capcom. Capcom's not Ubisoft. But they're not that far removed from Ubisoft. If you can wait a few months on Capcom, you'll get a sale. I might wait for one of those and then pull the trigger. But yeah, I was like, damn, this looks good. What the fuck? Anything else stand out for you?
Let's see. It was interesting seeing another Yoshi game get announced.
Yeah.
I hope it doesn't follow the same sort of.
It looks interesting.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like I always want to be a Yoshi. I always want a Yoshi game to be better than it turns out to be, because I have such heavy nostalgia for Yoshi's Island.
I think there's a Yoshi game out there to make.
Mm-hmm.
That could be really, really good.
Yeah, I agree.
There is a Donkey Kong Bananza for Yoshi.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure what it is. Like, I don't know. Like, I know you haven't played Bananza.
Yeah.
Bananza's fucking amazing. Bananza basically, to me, has redefined what a Donkey Kong game should be.
Mm-hmm.
It's imagine Hulk Ultimate Destruction, the one where you could just break everything.
Yep.
But now it's an open world. It's an open world, or kind of open world-ish game. It's Hulk Ultimate Destruction in a Mario context with Breath of the Wild climbing.
Mm-hmm.
It turns out that's really fucking fun. It's really fucking fun. I believe there is a Yoshi version of that out there. Not that combination of things, but like a hyper polished game that looks at what Yoshi is and makes a big budget production that maybe doesn't necessarily break a ton of new ground, which is a very funny pun intended for Donkey Kong, but is super polished, is super developed, has good ideas, applies them correctly for the character. And then the big thing about Bananza is super underrated is how charming they make Donkey Kong in it. Not just like, oh, he's a cute character, but his personality, the way he reacts to scenes, the way he interacts with Pauline, the way he interacts with the other characters, the whole thing. Like they made him a really fun character in the context of this very fun game that's built for who he is. There's a Yoshi version of that out there. It's not this game. Yeah. This game feels like it's targeting a younger audience, but I want that game badly because I feel like That's a bridge that Nintendo just hasn't crossed with Yoshi.
Yeah, that's what I don't like. I don't like the fact that I feel like they've pigeonholed that character into games that are for kids and are super easy.
Right, because he's very cute, and that's part of it.
Yeah.
I get it. Like, DK's not very cute. They made him kind of cute, but he's still kind of like goofy cute, not like rounded, soft surfaces Yoshi. Like, you could make Yoshi into a plush, and he would look exactly the same.
Yeah.
You could not make this Donkey Kong into a plush.
Yeah.
You'd have to cartoonify him some more.
Yeah.
Which he's very much a cartoon as it is, but he's got too many edges. He's too edgy. He's the Shadow the Hedgehog of the Mario universe. Yes, he's too edgy.
Wow.
But it's, yeah, like, I get your point.
Personally, I will say that Woolly World is probably the closest to Yoshi's Island 2 that we got, and I'm aware that we basically got Yoshi's Island 2.
We got Yoshi's New Island and Yoshi Island DS, and they're both bad.
Yeah, they weren't made by... Yeah, I don't know. They weren't great.
Like
But Woolly World actually kind of holds up and does have a few features that fix, in my opinion, some of the more annoying aspects of Yoshi's Island. You know, like you don't have to collect everything in one go through a level, and you can just have a badge that makes the invisible clouds visible and shows you where the red coins are. But outside of that, you've got basically a Yoshi's Island game with a very cool look to it. With like the clouds made of cotton balls and all that shit.
Yeah,
it's amazing.
Goodfield does good stuff.
Yeah,
for sure.
I played that game to completion and owned the blue yarn Yoshi.
Mm.
And I don't remember a goddamn thing about it.
Yeah, well, it certainly didn't do the Donkey Kong Bananza thing.
Like,
but
I remember
if what you want is more Yoshi's Island and you skip that game, well, too bad, because now it's on 2 different dead consoles. But maybe one day you get to play it.
Was it not on Switch?
It was on the Wii U, and it was on the 3DS.
Oh, that's right, because then Switch got that other game. What was it? Yoshi's Crafted World?
Yes. Which is fine. It's an okay game.
It's not trying to necessarily do the Yoshi story though. Yoshi's Island.
No, it's got little 3D elements, like the levels are. I don't really remember that much about them, but yeah, like it's not going for the Yoshi's Island formula, but it is nice enough. You throw eggs, you swallow enemies,
It's very cute.
Yeah, all that stuff.
Yoshi isn't made of yarn this time. It looks like he's made of the felt on tennis balls.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
It's weird. It's a weird game.
Yeah. Let's see other stuff. It's good to see that Super Mario Brothers Wonder is getting a Switch 2 edition. That's pretty cool. I'll probably pick that up. Mario Tennis Fever. Good to see.
Yeah, tennis.
But definitely something I'll wait for the reviews. But
what's the online play like? It's going to be a big deal there.
Yeah, but it's pretty hard to go wrong. But I said the same thing about the last Mario Golf, and that was pretty underwhelming, in my opinion.
There you go.
But yeah. Overall, just a very interesting direct. I mean, pretty cool that they're bringing out Super Mario Galaxy and Mario Galaxy 2. That's good. Like a lot of good stuff. You know, it was pretty solid.
We do have pretty much confirmation at this point. This is a different port of Galaxy than the one that was on the Mario collection. Which means there are now 2 Switch ports of Mario Galaxy.
So it's done specifically for Switch 2 then.
No, it's for Switch as well.
It's for both, yeah. Yeah, that's right, it is. Yeah, they did say it's for both.
I think it's just more that first one was emulated, whereas this one might be a little bit more bespoke.
Yeah.
I don't know. We have been able to observe things in images and video that tells us that they are different.
Mm-hmm.
So that's neat. I don't know what that means. I don't know how to interpret that, but it's $40. I'm gonna wait for a sale. I love those games. I'm still gonna wait for a sale.
Yep. Agreed.
So,
But yeah.
okay.
But yeah, this just pretty much leaves me wondering when they're going to have a dedicated Metroid Prime 4 Direct.
Yeah. I would guess probably in October.
Yeah.
Like, there's some stuff coming out in early October. I would say once that stuff clears the deck, that's probably when you're going to get it.
Yeah.
You should download the Bananza demo they put out with this Direct.
Yeah.
I don't know what's in it. I'm fascinated by the fact the demo came 2 months later. That's very interesting.
I've never heard anybody say a bad thing about that game.
The game's amazing.
Not just on this podcast either. I mean, people I know that I work with that have played it, they're like, it's fantastic.
Yeah, it's so fucking good.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm going to talk about for my new business. So I bought the DLC. I bought it literally right after the Direct ended. I was refreshing Nintendo.com, waiting for the ability to buy it to come up. I bought it, and then I played it at lunch because I was working from home that day. And then I played it that evening before we recorded. So I'd put about 2 hours into it when we recorded the podcast last week. Because we recorded early. We recorded at like 7 p.m. and usually we record at 7:30. So I didn't have a ton of time to play it. So I've played a lot of it now. So let's talk about what it is. So they sell it as DK Island plus Emerald Rush. So those are technically two distinct things that you get in the DLC. But it's not like when Pokemon would have DLC and it'd be like something, Battle Tundra and other thing, Combat World Death Spin or whatever. And these are nominally distinct entities. And the only way they are distinct insofar as that is concerned is you can go to DK Island without playing Emerald Rush. So DK Island is a layer on the top of the planet's surface that you can just, after you've beaten the full game. So I think it's okay for me to say now, without saying what it is. The game has a false ending, which isn't that surprising for a Donkey Kong game. This happens with some frequency in that series. Once you have cleared the real ending, you can just go to DK's Island. The teleports, the eels that teleport you between layers. One of them comes up to you and says like, "Hey, something's going on at your island. You should check it out. Void's there." And then you can go. The eels will now be able to take you to your island, and you can go deal with Void. But you can actually get there if you haven't beaten the game on your own. There is I can't remember what layer it was, but there's a layer where you can talk to somebody who goes like, "Man, do you remember what it was like back on your island?" And then DK will recollect himself back to his island. But Void won't be there, and more importantly, Pauline's not there. So it's just DK running around doing shit. If you've already beaten the game, you can go there with Pauline, and she goes, "Wow, is this where you live? It's so beautiful." And some other random statements. And Void has set himself up on a little out island where he is running a new business. And that business is Emerald Rush. But as for what you can do on the island has no new bananas. So there are no bananas on the island, no gold bananas, which makes sense. The gold bananas are from outside the island. But there are no fossils either. So like the island is just the island. It's just around for you to explore and just kind of enjoy being in a Donkey Kong space. Like it's very much nostalgia play. So inside Donkey Kong's treehouse, there is a picture of Candy Kong, like that is that full body image of her from I think it's DK64's art, where she's standing there in the pink dress with her arms behind her head. It's just because this is DK's house. It looks like the inside looks just like the house from the Smash Brothers trailers, where they were watching stuff on TV, and then K. Rool shows up. You can climb to the top of the volcano. You can explore the island. There's a little minecart you can ride around, but there's not that much to do there in and of itself. It's just kind of there. But there's a lot of nostalgic little symbols in it, so it is neat. But Emerald Rush. So you go talk to Void, and he basically says, I'm restarting Void Co., which is his evil company, because all my employees quit, which is true. You destroyed his company, and they all quit. But hey, there's a new type of gold called emeralds, which aren't gold, but whatever. And I'm going to get into the business of collecting that instead of regular gold, and I'm going to monopolize it, and I'm going to get rich. Ha 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 ha. And so he basically hires you to collect emerald gold for him. And how it works is you go to a stage, and the first time you play it, the only stage you have access to is DK Island. And all of throughout the various layers of Donkey Kong, there's these gold Banandium roots, as they call them, that shoot up from the ground. And you can break them and get gold. All of those in the level have turned green because now they're emeralds. Likewise, all the bananas have turned green because they are also emeralds. And the fossils are all back. So you can collect the fossils again. The idea is you are trying to collect as much emerald Banandium as you can before the timer expires. And every round of this rush mode is 100 seconds, and Void sets a target for how many you need to have at the end of the round. Any amount you have over that, you get to keep as sort of your starting point for the next round. So if you can get way out in front of Void, you could probably just take whole rounds off. But to get better at it, to get more money, to get more skills, you could pick up fossils that are all over the level. And every time you pick up a fossil, you can pick from one of three, perks, that essentially are only good for this run. And they can stack. And so what you're looking for is perks that increase, for example, warps. Warp is, in DK regular, warps are an unlimited resource. You can warp around to the various checkpoints as much as you want. In this one, they're limited, and depending on what difficulty you pick for the run determines how many you get. I'm trying to clear the top difficulty one right now, and so I don't start with any warps. So I'm looking for the perk that gives me +1 warp barrel, because every round, the warp barrels reset. And that can get you close to one of the goals. So as you're going through a round, Void will set a goal for you. And then as you clear a goal, he sets another one. Goals have multiple advantages. They give you a bonus. So there's money attached to them. And there are perks that increase that bonus. So like in my best run for that, I once had it where it starts at 150 per objective you clear. I had it up to like 1,500, which is great. That was a huge amount of money to get. But when your last round is 40,000 gold, that's not going to do it. But the other thing is, a lot of his challenges are destroy these enemies. And so you'll get, between 1 and 5 of an enemy there to fight. And a lot of the perks deal with multipliers on how much gold you get for defeating enemies. So there are perks for each individual enemy type that show up in the stage. So like the Stompoids, the Buzzoids, I can't remember what the other ones are that show up in this. And so you can increase a multiplier on each of them. But there are also multipliers for things like how many hearts of health you have, how much you've turf surfed in this run, how many power-ups, or how many of the perks you currently have, how many power-ups you have. So like you can level up your perks using coins, as well as finding the perk in the game. So it's how many perks you have versus how many power-ups you have. So like a perk could count 3 or 4 times if you've upgraded it 3 or 4 times. How many, or how you defeat the enemy is a good one. There's one for throwing things at the enemy to defeat them. That's a multiplier you can get. There's also one for swinging turf at the enemy to defeat them. And so my best runs are, I've gotten that turf swinging up, which is I think it's called like batter up. I've gotten that one leveled up really fast, really early in the run. And I've leveled up all the enemies. And so I'm just going from place to place for Void's objectives, because a good portion of those are defeat an enemy. But also when you clear Void's objectives, it's just like getting a fossil, you get to pick another perk. And many of the bananas have a perk attached to them. And if you pull up the map, you can see them on the map. So those are like this. You know exactly where this perk is, and if you break that banana who has that perk, you will get exactly that perk. And that perk could be something as much as unlocking one of the Bananza transformations, because any difficulty class level 2, DK starts with no transformations. And in fact, there is a multiplier perk, which is never get any transformations. That is a huge multiplier that I have done very successful runs with. So the challenge is, as you go up with difficulty, the amount of gold you have to provide Void in every round goes up by a multiplier. And so like the top one, I think it's like times 10.5, like 10.5 the base amount, which means it increases exponentially as you go deeper and deeper into the run, because the amount Void expects you to get between each stage of the run also increases exponentially, because the game expects you to have more perks at this point. So if you can find like the right perks for combat stuff and then find a bunch of enemies that are infinitely spawning, you can do really goddamn well. But that's hard to do. So I've never cleared difficulty level 7, which is the top difficulty. I got to, normally it's 10 rounds, but past a certain difficulty point, it turns into 15 rounds. I got to round 14 and ran out of gas. And I missed it by like 20. The goal was 25,000 and I missed it by 20. It sucked. I was so mad.
Yeah.
And the perks I had, I absolutely would have cleared the next round. Like, it was just Void kept giving me objectives that didn't give me enemies to fight. So it'd be like, take a swim. That just means fall in the water. Ride a minecart means get in the minecart. Touch a checkpoint. I'm like, Void, give me something to kill. I need the money. And so I just had a bad, like, the run just turned against me in that moment. Now people looked at the reward screen. So at the end of the run, you get a bunch of coins. You get Banandium chips. And Void pays you out based on how many objectives you cleared, how many fossils you found, how many bananas you broke, how much money you got, how many rounds you cleared, etc., 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 etc. And you can get a fucking lot of Banandium chips this way. Like 400 for a run. A crazy amount. But then there is a perk board. And that unlocks perks. So some of the perks are more, well, I don't want to use the word perks. I'm using it in this context as well. A reward board. And some of the things it unlocks are perks that will now show up in the Emerald Rush mode. So these are new perks that may make your run better. They may make your run worse if you get them. But not that they're necessarily going to make your character build worse. It's just they may not be useful. And so they may start showing up in the random draw. You could actually pay Banandium chips to not see a perk anymore in this run. But the amount goes up for every perk you say, I don't want to see that anymore. So there's definitely a tactic there I haven't fully figured out yet. But if you're trying to do a very specific build, you can just pay to not see anything. But those chips are also good for going to your upgrade screen, just like in single player, and upgrading stats right there. So like if you want to upgrade your punch so you can break through surface faster, there's an advantage to that. So there's a lot of like negotiating between like, how do I want to spend my chips? Do I want to spend gold reshuffling the 3 I got here in the hopes I get a better one? Or am I tight on Void's goal for the next round? What skills that are on the map do I go for? What route do I take to get them to also pick up an objective? Like, do I sweep through here? Now, the interesting thing is the bananas don't move and the fossils don't move. So if you run a stage enough times, you start to know where the fossils are. So you can get a better build early on, or see that your build is going to suck and bail out early on. Because, dude, if somebody wants to do the math, every round is 100 seconds. There are times when the clock's not running, when you're picking a perk, when you're on the warp map, when you're warping, when things are loading, stuff like that. When Void's talking to you. And they max out at 15 rounds. It doesn't sound like a lot of time, but that's right out of the gate. That's 1,500 seconds if the clock never stops, which it does regularly. That's 25 minutes. It's like this run is going to take you 30 plus minutes for a full 15. I think my last one was 40 minutes. These are not short runs, but people were complaining that it seems like the game doesn't have a lot of content, because if you go look at the warp screen, There are 15 layers in Bananza. It shows locks on 5 of them. So the DK island is unlocked, and then there's 5 others that are locked. And people took that to mean that, wait, you can only play on 5 layers? That's dumb. They also saw that reward screen and saw that it's a square frame, and there's circles on there, and it tells you how many points you need to unlock it, and there's an icon in the circle that tells you what it is. It's either an outfit, it's new perks, it's another stage. I think that's it. I think it's just those 3. And how much you're going to need to get there. And it ends at 20,000. And it ends, I'm going to quiz the two of you. If you look at the screen, the rewards only cover a third of the screen. And then the other 2/3 of the box are empty space. What does that tell you?
DLC 2 or
No.
I don't know.
Once you get the last one on the board, a whole bunch of other ones show up. And the board fills out with more perks all the way up to 10,000 void points, which is an absolutely crazy work number because it took me hours to get 20,000. Now, I'm getting more now because I regularly am getting 200 plus void points for a run, but a run takes 40 minutes. That adds the fuck up. There is a thing when you get all 10,000. I looked it up. I was just curious. That is fairly substantial gameplay content that I won't get into what it is. But there's a bunch of new outfits you can unlock, including outfits that give you a better chance of finding good perks in the level. There's 6 new albums to unlock, including a couple new songs that are interesting. And there's a ton of perks, a ton of outfits, ton of just stuff. Now, yes, you unlock more stages as well. You can't go to every stage, but some stages are like little tiny transition layer stages that mostly existed for a boss fight. It really wouldn't make sense to put this run-based architecture in that stage. Some stages just work better than others. I spend most of my time farming for points on DK Island because DK Island is relatively small and can be memorized. It's all one layer. A lot of the layers have multiple layers, and that makes them hard to navigate, especially if you only have one warp or no warps. So yeah, I'm having fun with it. Yes, the $20 price tag is a little bit steep. It is a little bit steep, but it's less steep than it looks. Nintendo, for whatever reason, decided to not tell y'all about all the content in this thing. But yeah, I mean, if you don't think a roguelite run-based collecting game sounds fun, you won't enjoy this. Like, I understand that maybe you want to see DK's Island. I get that, but like, that's not what this thing is. Yes, DK Island is there, but it's mostly just there because they wanted to let you explore it for a little bit. There's nothing to do there besides collect trophies. Statues. There's a Squawks, the parrot. You can give him 100 Banandium chips and he will go find you a statue. And the amount goes up over time. I think there's 90 of them, and then there's some that are going to be special events, like around the holidays and stuff. I've gotten about a third of them from him at this point. And there's a banana-shaped rock creature who has a riddle that I don't know if I can tell you how to solve it without it being a spoiler, or give you an idea of how it's solved without it being a spoiler. But basically, he talks in symbols that can't be translated. But if you think about, like, if you figure out, basically what he's telling you to do an action in or around his space. And so if you could figure out what each of those symbols translates to, and you could do them all in sequence, you get a reward from him. I haven't figured them all out yet. I figured out 3 of them. And so, like, that's in there too. It's just kind of a goofy side thing to figure out. I'll probably just end up looking up how to solve it. Like, it's taken me a while. It took me a long time to crack the case on 3, and I think there's 7. So at some point, it's just like, okay, it would be cool to do this without help, but I don't think that's happening for me. But I've probably put 5-6 hours in Emerald Rush mode. I'm about 35,000 void points in at this point. So a long way to go to the final target. A long way to go. But, I'm enjoying it. You know, it's a fun, 3,000. No, just, 35,000. Yes. Because it's 20,000. Yeah. All right. Anyway, I'm enjoying it. This is fun. But yeah, if it seems a little steep for you, or you're not really interested into run-based collecting games, don't worry about it. Like, the content here doesn't feel like it was cut from the game. It feels very different than the game. I basically just bought it because I wanted to control DK some more. I just like how he feels when I play games. So I was like, yeah, this is an excuse. Like, I was picking it up and just running around for a few minutes ago, and there's nothing for me to do. I have every collectible. This was like, oh, there's something new for me to do in this space. That's fun. But if it's not for you, I could totally see somebody loving Bananza and this just not being for them, and that's okay. I feel like Nintendo didn't put their best foot forward in giving an idea of the breadth of the content in this thing. I'm not telling you it's super deep, but it's deeper than they made it look in the Direct. Let's put it that way. Like, do you get any like permanent rewards to like in the rest of like in the rest of the game at all? So DK has clothes, and so does Pauline, and those clothes have buffs on them. So it'll be like not damaged, or you're not harmed by fire. So you can literally just walk on a hot surface and it cools down automatically. Yeah. Some of the void rewards are clothing. So they have perks attached to them that you can take in and out of the run. So you can take them into the regular game as well. Mm-hmm. The first set you get really only influence Emerald Run, though. It gives you more emeralds. Or excuse me, more perks in Emerald Run. So it doesn't do you any good outside of Emerald Run. But there are ones that are more useful outside of the Emerald Run context. However, it's important to note that Void doesn't show up until you've beaten the game for story reasons. So it won't help you do that, but it might help you complete the list. Find everything. So it's as a infinite run based game. Not infinite, as a timed run based game, it's pretty good. But it's pretty good because DK is pretty good. Yeah. Some stages just don't feel good to play. They just don't. Like, the stage is too divided up, so navigating it's a pain in the ass. And so trying Voids gives you an objective and you don't have any warps left, and it's all the way at the other goddamn end of the world. That sucks. Whereas on DK Island, if you're out of warps, you can probably hoof it in a relatively short period of time if you know the right routes. So that's kind of the trade-off. I don't feel taken for $20. Like, I spent more than that on lunch the other day. Whatever. But yeah, I mean, it could have been it. I can empathize with people feeling like it's kind of pricey. Just there's more content than Nintendo has shown in this thing, and there's a thing I just cannot talk about. Mm-hmm. That is very interesting. So, I believe it is a totally skippable piece of DLC. I believe you can play Bananza, love Bananza, have a great experience, and just know, but this DLC is not for me. And that'd be totally cool, because honestly, like, I got to talk to Diddy and Dixie a little bit. Besides that, it doesn't really affect anything that I did in the main game. Except I might have some outfits that are useful in the main game too. Yeah. If you decide to go back and replay it, right? Yeah. Yeah. But otherwise, it's mostly superfluous. Yeah. Like, it's there as another mode to give you something to do if you farmed every surface in this game like Greg and I had. So, yeah. I've enjoyed it. It's been an experience. I'm glad to get to play Donkey Kong again in a new context, because I missed playing it. It feels so good. Yeah. All right. Guillaume, what have you been up to?
Yeah, so I've been playing a lot of stuff, but mostly like right after finishing the amazing Shinobi Art of Vengeance, I think it's called. Correct. I went back and decided, like, you know what? It was a nice coincidence. All those old, like, SEGA Ages titles that M2 worked on, there was a sale. So I was like, okay, I think that they released a Shinobi game for that. So I'm going to look that up. I'm going to download it. I'm going to play it. And I'm pretty sure I've tried to play it before and it wasn't for me, but maybe, I'm interested again in checking it out because the new Shinobi is so good. So I go check out the sale, and I'm on Deku Deals, and I see that, I looked up SEGA Ages, I see all those titles, like like 70% off or whatever. Shinobi, unavailable. What do you mean unavailable? Apparently, it's been taken off the eShop in 2023.
Yes.
Now, it's not that I didn't have any time to pick it up because it was released in 2020. It was, and I looked at the graphic of the history of sales, and I had plenty of opportunities to pick it up before they yanked it. But no, it's gone. Except, is it? So if you're outside of North America, you can still access it. If you're a Canadian, if you're in the US, you are a shit out of luck. Except, are you? No. Good news. Because in Canada, ebgames.ca has codes. I think maybe Amazon does as well. And in the US, Best Buy and Amazon have codes still.
Hey!
So that's what I did. I went on ebgames.ca, bought the code for full price because that's not on sale. Redeemed it and played a little bit of Shinobi.
Nice.
Was it worth it? Well, it's the first Shinobi. It's a pretty impressive game for its time. It's the arcade version. There is a review on Nintendo World Report. It's still relevant. What they say about the game hasn't changed. It's still all true. It's a very short game that you can get through very quickly. Once you do, there's not that much to go back to. But it is an impressive game for its time, and I would recommend. So the game does give you the option to rewind. But you have to go and turn that on. It's right on the first menu screen. You can't miss it. It's do you want rewind, yes or no? I would say no, not the first time. Because I fell into the trap of okay, I got hit. One hit is basically, or two hits, it depends on your level of armor, but it's basically a one-hit kill kind of thing. Okay, I got hit, I died, I'm going to rewind a little bit. Oh wait, now that I've avoided this one ninja star or whatever, this other one that was also coming my way just hit me. Okay, rewind. And so back and forth, you kind of develop this myopic vision of the action, and it's not a good feeling at all. You can, it kind of gives you the impression well, this game is bullshit. I just keep dying and dying and dying, even if I'm rewinding. Turns out that not having to rewind forces you to engage with the game a little bit more intelligently and forces you to be a little bit more cautious. And eventually you get the hang of it, and you can manage to go and take out some key enemies before they actually attack you, and then that gives you enough of a window to cross the screen and go kill these other enemies or whatever. But it's a good little action game in the vein of Rolling Thunder. If that means anything to people, it's basically you're there's basically two levels to every stage. You can just do a big jump on top of buildings. There will be enemies on top of buildings on ground floor, and you just switch between both, and you're rescuing these little ninja pups along the way, I guess. These kids, and you're something that I had to go into the manual to figure out, but so when the enemies are close to you, you swing your katana at them. If you are not close enough, you're going to throw a ninja star. And apparently you get a bonus if you don't throw ninja stars in the level, which is pretty hard. But this is not really a thing that the game tells you initially. You just at the end of the stage, if you manage to do it, you get a 20,000 points bonus, which is pretty significant in this game. So that's a fun challenge to go through, but it's this game is really challenging. Despite all the kind of the little options that this version gives you, they do let you play a version of the game where you start with the best armor, the most upgraded weapons. It's still fucking hard. But I don't know. Like I just by playing it for a few hours, I learned to appreciate it, and I now better, have a better appreciation of the first Shinobi game. Then I tried to get into Revenge of Shinobi, the Genesis game, the first one that came out in 1989, and that's like it's on the Genesis NSO thing, and that I didn't get at all. Like somehow, like I thought, like it's going to be much easier because it's a console game. It's probably made with a more gentle difficulty curve. No, not at all. I couldn't figure out how to beat the boss. I'm not sure if he's actually. I don't know if you can win against him if you don't have like a huge supply of kunai, which like you would have had to not overuse them over the course of the levels on your way to that boss. But like it looks like the only way to really kill it is to have a ton, and when in that game you can do a double jump, which was kind of tricky to pull off. Like it's kind of surprising, and so you double jump, you press the attack button, and you kind of rain down kunai on like the whole screen, and that seems to be the only way to actually damage the enemy. But every time that you rain down kunai on the whole screen, like you use up like at least 5 at a time, and your supply, like maybe you've got like 40 if you're lucky. I don't know. I need to devote some more time to playing Revenge of Shinobi. I think it looks amazing though. Like 1989.
Yeah,
it's kind of I can see why people would have been dazzled by like the Genesis. Because what else came out in 1989? Like the Super Nintendo was not out yet, right? Like it was, Anyway, so I'm looking forward to playing that more. The main game that I've been playing though is Crypt Custodian. This is a game I think that came out a few months ago, but it made its way to Game Pass. So I played it on that, and I wasn't really. Of course, it's on Switch as well.
Yep.
I wasn't planning on devoting all that much time to it. Like, to be honest, it was just like I was just trying to get Microsoft reward points. But pretty quickly after I started it, like I was kind of hooked, and I needed to finish it. It was strangely addictive, even though, like in a good way, like even though it doesn't have like especially addictive things about it. This is a kind of a Metroidvania, but not in a 2D side-scrolling perspective. It's more of a, what's the name? I saw a review that called it isometric. That's not true. It's not isometric. East, west, north, and south are all in the spots where they should be.
Right. Overhead.
But a little bit. Yeah. Like 3/4 or something.
Yeah.
I forget my architecture drawing classes, which for some reason I had one at some point, but a long time ago. Anyway, so that perspective, and so you play as this house cat, basically. You are on your way to heaven, I suppose. Like you want to make your way into the basically the celestial castle where the good souls go, and but on your way there, you need to like there's like just like junk all over the place. At some point, like you grab a broom or something, and then like you have to use it to destroy some statues that are in the way. And so of course you've got Kendra, who's basically Saint Peter in this world, and she's like, okay, so you were a house cat, you had 2 loving owners, and so sad, like you ran in front of a car. Well, I don't see any issues here. Probably you can make your way into the heaven, basically. Oh wait, but what's this? Like you destroyed my statues? Like what the hell? Bad kitty. And so like you're sent to stand outside of the heavenly castle forever. And so your goal is, of course, to make your way inside. You are, very quickly realize that basically no one can make it into the castle. There's always something. Kendra is kind of hogging the place. So as you get around this kind of the world is kind of hard to describe, but there's a lot of junk everywhere, and of course you like this. The title is Crypt Custodian, so it does look like crypts, and yes, like there's a lot of garbage around. Your weapon is a broom, and so you use it to attack enemies, but also like there are these spots of garbage that you can destroy. And your currency is little bits of garbage. I don't know why this all this stuff about the garbage. It doesn't really make sense. But anyway, so you go around, you gain mobility upgrades. Of course, you've got the dash, you've got the double jump, you've got all the kind of the classic stuff, and you also can get upgrade points, and you also get basically power-ups that you can equip. And so you will gain different power-ups, like maybe you get like a fifth health chunk, which you're going to need probably throughout this game. But that's an upgrade that you need enough upgrade points to equip. You might choose to try to make do with the fourth like hearts of health that you have in the first place, but I would have found this game too hard. So, like I always had that equipped. You might have like, upgrades for the strength of your main attack or the strength of your secondary attack, special attack that you need to fill up a gauge to be able to use, etc. Like maybe like make your attacks wider, things like that. You can get upgrades also that will reveal, like make invisible platforms visible. But it's all stuff that you need to equip and that you need enough upgrade points to be able to equip. So it's not, like it's not a roguelike or anything. Like it's very much a designed experience. The game world never changes, but it does have that kind of element of like, well, like you got to find these upgrades, but you might not be able to equip them necessarily. You're going to have to pick and choose.
Right.
The game the game just feels good to play, like mostly. I think that's like the main part of the appeal. Like it does feel satisfying to just like zoom around. Like there's a lot of kind of, somewhat demanding platforming challenges that are not as, not tough as nails, but just hard enough, challenging enough to be satisfying once you pull them off. The game's perspective can make it a little bit hard to see if you're going to land on a platform or not sometimes. So the thing that they've done is that they've actually put this, like you've got, of course, you can see the shadow that you're casting on the platforms, but they also put like this kind of like gray icon under, like around or like under your character, and it turns to red when you're over a piece of the screen that you can't actually land on, like when you're over a void or water or whatever. So that tells you, okay, like if you land here, you're going to lose health. But so that helps to tell, like, okay, am I going to make it or not make it when you're platforming? But also the game is very lenient as to when you make it to a platform. Like sometimes like just the tiniest bit of this kind of HUD element is covering the platform that you're trying to reach. But even if it's a few pixels, the red turns to, gray. So, okay, you're making it like your character almost lands in the water, but actually the game kind of like lands you on top of the platform as if to say like, well, like you got it. Yeah, it's fine. Like, sure, like, it looks like you shouldn't have made it, but, like, we're going to say that you did, all right? Anyway. The game feels good to play, and I was always constantly wanting to see, like, what was around the corner. Not that the game's world was all that interesting. Like, to be quite honest, like, it's... it looks pretty samey. Like there's no reinvention very much between like the different biomes, we'll call them. They just kind of like they They change colors. They change a little bit, like some of the background elements, whatever. But they're not all that distinctive from one another. Some of them will have like different platforms that you don't find in the other parts of the world, but it's always like this one thing, right? Like, okay, this world, it's kind of like translucent. It kind of looks like you're in the night sky. It looks pretty. And this is the place where it has the platforms that exist or don't exist based on whether you just dashed or not. You know, like if you dash, some of the Super Mario like 3D World platforms are like this. You know, like or was it Galaxy? Like sometimes, like if you spun Mario, like the some platforms would appear and others would disappear. Yeah. So yeah, there's that gimmick in here, but it's like in this one world. In another world, like it's some other gimmick. So
gotcha.
Yeah. But overall, like you're always kind of like it's always going to be like these somewhat floating in the void square platforms or whatever. There's going to be like the same bridges between them. Like this is a game that was mostly made by one person and his brother doing the music. And you know, like a team of testers and all of that stuff. Like but like mostly like designed by one person. So, you know, you got to cut it a little bit of a break. But so yeah, so maybe like it's not the most gloriously visually stimulating experience, although it looks quite nice. But like the reason why I always wanted to I want to keep playing, you know, like there was always like in one screen or another, like, oh, this one upgrade point that I can get. Oh, like over here, like I can almost make it to the next checkpoint. I gotta try again. Yeah, that kind of stuff like was really somehow well done. So this is a Metroidvania, and like I think it does have a little bit in common with Shinobi Art of Vengeance, which was not in Metroidvania. Like that game was very much like had discrete levels, and you didn't find mobility. You know, you wouldn't hit like a dead end until you found the mobility upgrade that would let you pass. Like it's not really how it worked. Like basically, like if you played every level in order, you would end up with all the mobility upgrades in Shinobi.
Right.
But Crypt Custodian is a Metroidvania, so there are bits where like, okay, like in this part, you can't really progress through the game unless like you go find the double jump. But it seemed to be like more. It seems to be more of an open Metroidvania in that you might be able to reach like the dash move and the double jump. Not necessarily like, you know, maybe you can get one before the other, and so like you've got like multiple paths that are always open to you at any point. It never really feels like you're hitting your head against the wall, like, okay, like I can't progress, like what am I missing? You've always got on the world map several leads that will get you someplace. Like probably you've already gotten some other mobility upgrade on the way, and now you can progress through this path, and then you can come back to the other one later. Like, I don't know if I'm making this clear, but like basically like it's not like you need A to get to B to get to C. It's more like you can get A and B that will let you explore C, D, and E, etc. You know, it's a little bit more wide open. Yeah. Anyway, like it's a very, I don't know, like it's another one of those kind of smaller games, indie games that I've devoured recently. Like I basically finished it in under a week, and yeah, very, very, very satisfying, very well made. I think, yeah, I highly recommend it. It's got I explained the story poorly at the beginning, but it's got a nice ending that's kind of like a little bit bittersweet and kind of really well done. And yeah, like I recommend it.
Cool.
I don't know how to end this.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. Like if you're looking for a 2D Metroidvania, hey.
Yeah. So that's it for what I've been playing this week.
Okay. Well, we're going to take a break here. When we come back, we're going to do a little bit of listener mail. We got a couple we want to get to, so please stay tuned for that. We are back with email. You can send your emails to rfn at NintendoWorldReport.com. That is rfn at NintendoWorldReport.com. Much like these people did. Lord Knott writes, Dear RFN crew, while still processing all that happened during the last Nintendo Direct, I was reminded of one of the things we know about Nintendo is how often they abandon ideas and projects midway through development. Assuming that has remained the case in recent years, my question is about this. What do you think were some of the ideas that were worked on and scrapped by Nintendo before they arrived at Super Mario Galaxy Storybook, a talking flower, non-interactive talking figure, a Nintendo Classic: Virtual Boy? My running theory is that before they decided on the Virtual Boy as the next addition to the Nintendo Classics, they were mulling the inclusion of the BSX satellite games. They would, of course, include their soundlink features so that certain games could only be played for an hour on Tuesday afternoon. Practicing my grounding exercises before Nintendo makes me question what is and is not real again. This is basically just an invitation for us to fuck around and come up with insane ideas that Nintendo could have come up with. And mine is something I've actually thought about in the past of, could they do this? Would they do this? Nintendo has signed a very lucrative deal with LEGO. Very lucrative deal with LEGO that they have consistently renewed and expanded. If you have not looked at the full breadth and spectrum of Nintendo LEGO product available at this point, it has become extremely expansive.
And expensive.
It was always expensive.
Yeah.
To put it in perspective, I do not have access to a LEGO store, although that is about to change, which would make sense because they're building a big North American factory in town. It would make sense if they have at least one goddamn LEGO store here. But last year and this year, I visited both ends of Disney's North American spectrum, and the breadth of Nintendo content in the LEGO store was already expansive in 2024. By 2025, it was comical. It was approaching Star Wars stuff. Like, it was encroaching on the space that had been reserved by the Star Wars LEGO empire. Bearing in mind, I was in a Disney-themed LEGO store who owns Star Wars. So, like, oh. And Mario is across the street at the other theme park. Like, there was a lot of fucking Nintendo shit. And that deal was originally not that big, and the Animal Crossing kit's quite large, and Pokemon, the Pokemon contract, although not expressly Nintendo, obviously Nintendo has a deep business connection to the Pokemon brand, and is partial owner of it. LEGO got them from Mega Bloks. So now that's gonna be the next Nintendo kit, and it's gonna get the Nintendo branding even though it's Pokemon. I think it's gonna get dual branded, is how they're currently describing it. So, it's coming. We got Zelda, we got Animal Crossing, we got Mario. I suspect there'll be more in the future. Mine is, what if Nintendo was sitting around and they're like, what are we going to sell on the next Nintendo Direct? They're like, I'll just imagine they're sitting around a table. There's like half-crushed energy drink cans lying on the floor. Somebody ordered food like 4 hours ago, and there's still some left on the table because nobody's cleared it out. They've got a direct to record tomorrow. They haven't figured that shit out. And they're like, okay, what about... Like, I know we have a big LEGO deal. Is there any new LEGO shit to show? And they're like, no, they haven't gotten back to us yet. Like, we're trying to get somebody into Denmark to tell us what the fuck's going on, but they're just busy. The Danish are busy. They haven't told us anything. We got nothing. Somebody leans over to the president of Nintendo and says, hey, I know you weren't around for this. This is way before your time. This is a long time ago. But, Mr. Furukawa, like 40, 50 years ago, we told the Danish where to stick it with NB block. Do you think we could bring back NB block and not have Lego get mad at us? And I think they thought about it for a while. I think they probably called the lawyers in. The lawyers walk into the room and they're like, hey, you have a copy of the Lego contract? And the lawyers leave the room and come back with it. And it's a massive tome in a big like clamp notebook. And they're like, here's the contract. Basic riders, not the extended stuff. And they're like, wow, what are you going to do? We want to make NB block again. I believe at that point, the lawyers took the contract and just beat the person responsible for saying that in the head and said, we can absolutely not make NB block again. What the fuck is wrong with you? At which point the call was made to the factory to shut down the NB block line. Because I feel like deep down, what Nintendo is telling us with all this plastic shit they are making, we didn't even talk about the Kirby amiibo that are $60 for 2 amiibo that snap together like it's goddamn not Skylander. Oh yeah, Skylander's Trap Team. Which, by the way, I want to point out that Nintendo has figured out how to have 2 amiibo on one thing without having to have a second portal, which is the thing I told Activision's rep they absolutely could do when they told me during the E3 press tour that no, that's not possible. You fucking liars. They just wanted to sell new portals. But what if we went back and brought back NB block? People would buy that shit. John, you telling me right now that like 1/3 of the NWR staff wouldn't spend $200 on NB block?
They probably would.
Yeah.
I mean, the Virtual Boy put everything on the table.
Yeah. Well, no, I don't think any of us would, honestly. I don't think any of us are deep enough in the hole to be like, you know what I want? I want shit Lego. But Nintendo made it. But the rest of the NWR staff?
Right.
I mean, Justin is a guarantee.
100%, yep.
I would say Raritan, there's a pretty good chance. I'd say Neil's at risk.
Mm-hmm. Oh, it's for my kids.
Yeah, it's for my
right?
Have they played with it?
That Neil guy.
Oh, it's for my kids might be the name of the episode. It's like, have your kids played with it? No. All right, then. Because if you've ever seen the NB block models, they're fucking shit. They're terrible. They're terrible.
Yeah, they've always been awful.
They look bad.
Mm-hmm.
But Nintendo has to know, if we put these on sale at like the Kyoto store, if we made this so you had to go out of your goddamn way and go to like the Nintendo or San Francisco store to buy it, you fuckers would pay any amount of money for it. Like, we see what you're paying for these Lego kits. We know what you're paying. What if it's NB Block Limited Edition? We remember Scarfgate. We're not stupid. You assholes will spend out the ass, which is appropriate, to get these fucking NB Block. What is it? Is that a car? Is that a house? No, it's a man. Our designs suck, but you just paid us $89.99 to get it. The only fear is what are Lego's lawyers going to do when we have our own building block program after we sign this deal? And the answer is be very mad. They're going to be so mad. They're going to be the maddest they've ever been. So we can't do it. But we wanna so bad. And that was and it's like, I had this thought in my head before we got this email. And then there was a point where I was thinking to myself, what if these absolute psychopaths call the Danes and say, hey, we want to re-release NB Block under the Lego brand as a limited edition thing. And then I thought for a minute and said, these crazy bastards might do it and charge $150 for a simple kit. And now I'm petrified. That thought is I feel very confident somewhere in Kyoto there is a whiteboard that's like how to reintroduce NB Block. And I want no part of it. I want no part of that world where that thing exists. But god damn it, Nintendo Classics NB Block, where you can get $100 and then there's instructions as an app on how to assemble it. I mean, these people made cardboard for years. There's like 7 Labo kits. Oh, it's coming, man. This nightmare's coming. All right, John. What's your Furukawa considering what business propositions have been brought to him by the Japanese equivalent of J&J Dream Factory?
I don't know. I mean, I just think like the stuff that they would have discarded. I mean, I think there's still
it's probably less weird.
I think it is. I mean, I think somebody there probably still believes that there's an appetite for their LCD games. I'm sure.
Which were all bad.
Yeah. I mean, just the fact that they would even reissue one for Super Mario Brothers, I found very, very interesting.
Game
and Watch collection feels like it's doomed to come back.
I feel like Game and Watch. Game and Watch, it's still out there. There's still a thirst. Somebody there has a thirst for Game and Watch.
I like that you make it sound like it's a murderer skulking in the Game and Watch is still out there.
It's still out there.
The last Game and Watch is free.
Yeah, it has not been apprehended. It's still putting packages in mailboxes and sending it to news outlets.
Oh no.
Yeah, I think it's stuff like that. I mean, you can kind of see it. Every once in a while, Game and Watch just kind of rears its head.
Game and I'm watching you.
Yeah. Yep. I'm surprised they haven't put out a Game and Watch. Or really watches in general.
They did.
I feel like that's like an actual wristwatch though?
Yeah, in like the 80s.
Well, yeah, I mean, of course, that's when it was contemporary, yeah, but that's something I'm surprised that they haven't brought that back. Because I mean, I remember way back in the day I used to have like an LCD Pac-Man watch that you could play a little game of Pac-Man on way back.
How good was that experience?
I mean, I enjoyed it. I really did. It was pretty cool. I mean, Pac-Man is actually a game that translates pretty well to LCD gaming because it is so...
Sure.
It's so...
because it was.
Yeah, I mean, it's so simple. But, yeah, I'm surprised they haven't actually come out with products like that. Like just, wristwatches that, and they kind of, I feel like they've done that here and there, but I don't know, I'm surprised they haven't come out with an actual gaming wristwatch line, but not, sort of more along the lines of like an LCD kind of iPhone sort of thing, or,
who would be their partner for that? Should it be Swatch? I feel like it should be Swatch.
It would be, I would love it if it was Swatch, for sure. That would be pretty damn cool.
Because then we could actually have the time measured in beats, internet time. So not only would it be a subpar gaming experience, but it would also be completely useless as a time-telling mechanism.
Yeah. Yeah.
I like the idea of, here's a product that we've combined to do 2 separate things. It does both of them so poorly, now neither of them are useful.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but
like,
I don't know. I think Nintendo could figure out some cool things with a wristwatch, I think. I mean, especially I could see them having connectivity with other people's wristwatches and just dumb stuff like that, like very much Tamagotchi type of stuff like that.
Are you talking about Watch StreetPass?
I mean, for adults, James. Strictly for adults here.
Are you talking about a way to find children in your area?
It's going to be wrist. You said it, not me, and it would be called WristPass. I miss it. I miss StreetPass. I'll say it. I miss StreetPass. I thought it was a cool feature.
WristPass, StreetPass for predators.
Hey, you're taking it there.
You're taking it there, James. More discreet.
My idea is as pure as the driven snow. All right.
That's the least believable thing you've ever said.
Stop tainting it. But I think that is something where I think it's kind of a gap in what they're doing right now, where they don't really give people, since they don't make the smaller portable consoles anymore. I feel like they're kind of missing that, like, take Nintendo with you all the time. And you can do that with your Switch, but it's not the same. It's not a console that you can keep in your pocket sort of thing. So right. I think that would be cool. I can tell you that if they made a wristwatch that had some kind of, cool sort of StreetPass kind of functionality and let you interact with games and stuff, I would take a serious look at that. I would be suckered in by that for sure.
What you're asking for, John, is a wristwatch Alarmo.
I don't know about that.
You are asking for a second entry in the Nintendo time-telling series.
Yeah, I guess I am. I mean, they do have, I know at the Nintendo theme parks.
Brand expansion.
At the Nintendo theme parks, they do have Swatch-like watches,
They do.
like the wristbands that you put on. But I'm thinking something slicker than that, where it's almost like an 80s style LCD watch, or maybe like what you can get for iPhone or Apple Watch or
like
Samsung
a
Galaxy
smartwatch.
watches. Yeah, where you can get, it has an LCD face, but you can get those kind of old school.
Yeah, my fitness tracker is I don't remember who makes it. It's a Garmin, but like it does some limited smartwatch features. It mostly just tracks my exercises. But yeah, like I think it was $90. Like it's on the low end, but it's got a color LCD screen. It's got a color LED screen on it, like an LED. It's LCD. They could do all kinds of shit with one of these, and it's not like a big expensive smartwatch. It's it's relatively limited in its capabilities, and I feel like Nintendo would prefer that. They wouldn't want it to be too complex.
Yeah, I mean, I'm the guy sitting over here paying cash money for a Metroid background for my 3DS. It's not hard to make me happy, is what I'm saying, with a device that.
What if? Hear me out here. WatchPass featuring Amiibo and Alarmo. You can buy faces for it, and the face you have bought for it, you can only have one face a day. A face you buy for it is the Amiibo that it acts as when you scan it to your Switch. Because if you remember, those wristbands from the Nintendo theme parks are Amiibo.
Yeah.
So you could take the wristwatch, scan it to your Switch, and it'll upload your fitness data for Wii Fit U, which isn't a good pun anymore on Switch. And it'll give all that data, but also it'll scan in the fact that today you were walking around with baby Waluigi on your thing. They could make so many Amiibo because it's all just digital. Think about all the fucking variants that are in like 2K games. Like, oh, here is Sting circa 1994.
Yeah.
Here's Sting circa 1996. Here's Surfer Sting. Imagine if you could do that for Amiibo on your watch. Here's Bathing Suit Mario, which is him in his swim trunks. Like here's Talking Flower Amiibo. Infinite possibilities. Yeah, all at your wrist.
I'm telling you, if they made a Nintendo watch, I would look at that and say, "All right, I'm listening. What can it do?"
What if it just made noises randomly like the talking flower?
Yeah.
What if it would just occasionally, like, the face of a random Nintendo character would pop up and it would just pop off at you?
I mean, it could have a sleep tracker on it.
It could have a sleep tracker. And it could wake you up in the middle of the night yelling at you.
Yeah, they love they love to do sleep tracking. I mean, that they never really got that off the ground, but
we love to well, they did. It was Pokemon Sleep.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah.
You can catch new Pokemon by sleeping, John. It's the ultimate game for old people. How do you play it well? You get extra hours of sleep. I'm gonna get a platinum on this fucking thing.
Yep.
Oh, it's so stupid. What are we even doing? This is why are we doing this? But I like where your head's at. I don't know if they've even shelved that one. I think it's just still in development.
Yeah. I don't know. I feel like it's one of those ideas of theirs that is kind of out there, but maybe they just haven't found what they consider a compelling use case, but I don't think they would have to go too far. I mean, they make wackier stuff than that, and people seem to like it. I mean, I haven't seen the sales figures for Alarmo, but I can't see them looking at that product and saying, boy, this is going to be the real moneymaker for us. It feels like somebody
they've
just
only
do
recently
for a goof.
only recently made them available at other retail stores, right?
Yeah.
Or that you could
Yeah.
only buy them directly from Nintendo, order them on Nintendo.com. But now,
I still haven't bought one yet, but every time I pass them at Target, I go like,
Yeah, how much are they at Target? Are they any cheaper?
No, they're MSRP.
Good lord.
I think there was some places that were clearing stock at one point, and then they're back at regular price, which is weird. That's not usually the arc things go on, but sure.
Yep.
I would be lying if I said the idea of wristwatch Alarma, which I believe the one where I did the Donkey Kong image where I made him into not Funky Kong, the weird Fedora Kong. I did give him an Alarmo on his wristwatch just because I felt like that'd be funny. I think we're back there. I think we're back at I needed an Alarmo on my wrist that also has StreetPass, but I can play LCD games on it, and I call it Game and Watch. Junior.
Right? It all comes together. I'm telling you. I feel like this is the idea that they've been dancing around for so long. And I think Nintendo they don't want to admit to themselves that they just want to actually make a wristwatch.
Let me give you some names, and
Okay.
you tell me which one is the best Nintendo name for this
Game
product.
and Watch. It's actually Game and Watch, all caps.
Yeah, it's Game, and then in bigger text, and then next to it, Watch, because it's Game and it's a watch. Done.
Yeah.
All right, but that's the same name as the old Game & Watch. It's just the old Game & Watch was an ampersand.
Yeah.
Game & Watch Junior,
Mm-hmm.
because it's the son of Game & Watch.
Yep.
On that same note, El Hijo de Game & Watch, which I think has a certain international flair to it.
Mm-hmm.
New Game & Watch, which goes in some of their old naming conventions.
Mm-hmm.
Or Game and New Watch, which goes into the worst of their naming conventions.
Yeah, of course, you could also call it Game & Watch DX.
There you go.
Always.
I kind of like Game and New Watch. I don't know why. It sounds fucking terrible.
I think Watchmo is one that's...
Watchmo!
That's, I think it's a definite possibility.
Can I just name the episode Watchmo, fuck, exclamation point?
Washmo is for my kids.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm watch mowing for all the children. Right, I don't know, WristPass, StreetPass for Predators is still there.
Yeah.
I just like the idea of I'm street passing discreetly.
Mm-hmm. But a watch feels like something that they would have made in the 80s and not thought twice about it, right?
But they did do it. Like there were literally watch form Game & Watches that were watch shaped. Not that many.
Yeah.
I think there were 4.
Yeah, because I never saw those anywhere.
Because you gotta remember that the Game & Watch screens were actually kind of big.
Yeah.
And in some cases they were the goofy mirror reflection ones, where it would reflect. There would be a mirror above it, and the LCD would reflect onto it. And then there were the ones that were 2 screens. They also made I want to say in
there you go. 1989, the Nell Sonic ones. Okay.
Yeah,
But
and then I want to say in
kind of licensed though, sort of. Yeah. Oh, I remember these. Yeah, this was sort of I'm just looking at one here. Game Watch by Nell Sonic, a Zelda Game Watch. Yeah, this is pretty much what my old Pac-Man watch was. Yeah.
There was in the mid 2000s. I don't remember the exact years, but I remember seeing it. They made a it looked like a Game Boy, but it played Game & Watch games, and it was a keychain.
Mm-hmm.
It was very weird.
This thing is really cool, though. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, it's really, really cool.
I want to say that they called them I can't remember. I can't remember what they called that line now.
Yeah.
But yeah, there were the Nintendo video game watches. I can't remember what the actual official name for them were. But yeah. They're kind of a neat idea, but they also seem like to be really impractical to play.
Mm-hmm.
Because the buttons are super tiny and the screen is super small.
Yeah, and you can pretty much have, you kind of have a D-pad, pretty much.
There's a Star Fox one? Holy shit. I didn't realize there was a Star Fox one. Yeah, these were later.
Yeah.
I
Yeah, 93. Yeah.
So here's the thing.
Man, this is a rabbit hole here. I should probably not.
If you work for Nintendo and are listening to this show, which isn't a thing that happens regularly, but it has happened, you can take this idea. We won't tell. Because I guarantee you, your bosses don't listen to this show because it would make them insane.
Yeah.
So, you could have this. It's free. Why? Because we want to see it happen because it's kind of stupid.
Yeah. I can
but
tell
not bad
you,
stupid,
like,
just regular funny stupid.
I mean, there's this Nell Sonic Super Mario World.
Yeah, I'm looking at it.
Oh my god, that's really awesome. That is really awesome. Yeah, $150 for that, but that is really cool. The fact that it comes in a box, that's really cool.
Yeah,
that's really cool.
It's neat looking.
Mm-hmm.
It's probably not very fun to play, but it's neat looking.
Yeah, it is. It is.
But again, they're selling $100 plastic Virtual Boy.
Yeah.
So obviously, it being neat looking, but not being very fun to play, is not a concern.
Not a concern at all. And really,
not in the slightest.
And really, when I'm looking at $150 1992, when I'm looking at $150 Super Mario World.
Yeah.
Wristwatch from 1992. There's really no qualitative analysis going on here, is what I'm saying. I'm not looking at that saying, oh boy, will that be fun to play? I'm saying, no, it's like, I'm looking at it like, oh, that's so stupid, it's really cool.
Well, I mean, as you know, LCDs only get better with age.
That's the thing, like, do those things even work anymore, is my question.
Like the digital components might work, but that LCD screen is definitely getting close to just being absolutely fucked.
Yeah, for sure.
LCDs, they fade with time, and boy howdy, I bet these were not the highest quality LCD screens on the market at the time.
No, I mean from Sonic, obviously
if you
Swiss,
search
a Swiss timepiece, but
if you search Nell Sonic, oh my god, they might still exist?
The first thing that comes up is probably a class action lawsuit. Is
an American manufacturing company that operated, that's past tense. You can't do past and present here, you absolute shit brains. Electronic watches, alarm clocks, and wall home clocks, founded 1981, 44 years ago. Long Island City, Queens, New York City, New York. Wow. Amazing. Their watches have become... Nell Sonic, the original Game & Watch line, has entered the secondary market. The most important thing is that their watches have become very expensive because of the license attached to them.
Yeah. Nell Sonic. What I think is funny about that is that they were able to get that license because nobody had any faith in Nintendo. I think that is just hysterical. Oh, how times have changed.
How times have... They apparently made a Simon watch, like the Milton Bradley game.
That would actually be kind of neat.
On your wrist?
Yeah, why not? I mean, it's pass the time there, try to just match the patterns, see how far you can go. Maybe I'm a simple man who is easy to entertain.
You're gonna look like you're trying to look like you're the worst Power Ranger trying to transform, but he can't remember his access code. Fuck! There's a giant squid outside, and I can't get this goddamn thing to work. It's the fucking worst Power Ranger on Earth. The rest of them are standing outside going, "Is he gonna get out of here, or are we just gonna die? What the fuck's wrong with this guy?" They apparently made a game called Princess Toadstool's Castle Run, which might be the first game starring Princess Toadstool. Alright, this is how we know it was high quality. It is, in fact, the first game to feature Peach as the main playable character. We know it's high quality because it was available in Happy Meals at some Japanese McDonald's restaurants. Ow, I bet that means it's super high quality. Oh, alright, no, John, I've got it. I've got the worst wristwatch experience here. Can you imagine playing fucking Q*bert on your wrist? Q*bert's a nightmare to control with the regular controller. This sounds like hell. This sounds like something you would do at at the PAX Omegathon at the end, where they just give the challengers an absolute nightmare to play. Like, here, play Q*bert on your wrist, idiot. Have fun. You won't. Their last game was Tetris. That's just sorted weird. Never mind. Their last game was a game called Super Mario Race, based on Mario Kart. But it uses art from the Game Boy version of F1 Race. Fuck it. Sure. Great.
Yeah, I'm watching Toadstool's Castle Run. Yeah, it looks miserable.
Yeah, it does.
I don't think that adults' fingers were supposed to be pushing those buttons.
But, Guillaume, I wouldn't be too harsh on it. I mean, it almost certainly has the Nelsonic seal of quality.
Great.
Yes.
Subsidiary of the famed and reputable MZ Burger Corporation. I'm not even
Nelsonic was?
Yeah. owned by MZ Burger, Berger.
Wow. I mean, man,
Nelsonic.
It doesn't sound like a real company.
If you can't trust MZ Burger, who can you trust?
I mean, it's. I mean, Nelsonic. It sounds like a company that would be made up for an 80s teen movie. Like, that's the evil corporation that the teenagers have to take down.
I was thinking that was the manufacturer of the Walkman that the kid wanted for his birthday, but they can't use Sony or Walkman brand.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get the L Sonic Stroll Boy, and it's like, yeah, I guess.
Yeah, you probably are.
It's like, if you can't trust MZ Burger, who can you trust? The answer is probably literally anyone not named MZ Burger. All right, Guillaume, what has Nintendo got hiding on the design boards?
I'm afraid I don't. Okay, well, let me know if this is anything. They had bigger plans for, big plans for merch for Metroid, actually, but Metroid Prime 4 kept getting pushed back, so they just decided to cancel the whole line. But, one of the things that they actually had people test was a Metroid shower cap. Which looks like a Metroid. You put it on your head.
Does it eat your brains?
No, but he does make realistic sounds, and probably lights up too. But by realistic sounds, I mean that sounds like the screeching in the Super Nintendo game. Yeah, the little baby Metroid, just like... Anyway, and so... It was basically the predecessor to the Talking Flower. They weren't going to make the Talking Flower, but then, this is the more evolved version of the shower cap that just screeches at you as you shower.
Guys, what if we do something different?
Mm-hmm.
What if we don't? What if we've had a lot of people get electrocuted in product testing? What if we don't involve water?
Sure. Also, I've got an explanation for a few questions we might have around the Virtual Boy and why it's just a shell that you put your Switch or Switch 2 in there to make it work, and it's $100. And why this whole setup? Why this whole thing? They actually were planning on producing actual Virtual Boys. They ordered little LCD screens for each eye. You might wonder, remember how people were like, how come the Alarmo is round, but the screen is rectangular, it's square? That doesn't make any sense. It's because of the aborted Virtual Boy, mini Virtual Boy, basically. Those are the screens that they had to find a second function for, a second use for, that they had ordered. They just, decided to scrap the Virtual Boy Mini and just, I guess we're making alarm clocks now. But they had also produced the shells, the Virtual Boy shells. So they're like, what do we do with this? And so someone decided, you know what? I'm not so sure about the Switch 2's chances, but maybe they will get a boost once people find out that they can use a Switch to play Virtual Boy games on.
Ooh.
Mm-hmm. So I guess that's what I had.
There we go.
I was trying to think of something else for because you guys were on Pokemon Smile for a bit, the toothbrushing Pokemon app, Pokemon Sleep, all that stuff.
WarioWare's smile has a very different horrible meaning.
Right,
it just shows you Wario's horrible teeth if you don't brush yours.
We tell kids it's important to get a good night's sleep. It's a good, good hygiene, good oral hygiene is important. What maybe wasn't drilled into people's heads enough as kids was good foot hygiene, And so Pokemon Feet is going to teach kids to use Dr. Scholl's powder and not develop athlete's foot, basically. Yeah. I don't know, they're still not sure. They've tried a few kind of insole sensors, but they couldn't get any that actually didn't, put the kids at risk of, what's it called? When the arch of your foot is,
like fallen arches?
Sure. Anyway.
Yeah.
So they're still working on that, but that is the next lifestyle Pokemon app that you can expect. No? Okay. Well,
no,
I tried.
I'm thinking about what Actually, no, I was thinking about what Pokemon have normal feet that you could use to demonstrate it. But without it turning into a foot fetishist game. That's the challenge. Yes, you could put Gardevoir there, but people are going to masturbate to that game, and we don't want that. So what Pokemon's feet can you use that won't make people do that?
Maybe you don't want that. But
I definitely don't want that. Yes. Do you want that, Guillaume? Is that what you're after?
I'm just saying, I'm not excluding the idea that maybe the Pokemon company does not want that.
I'm fairly confident the Pokemon company does not want that. They definitely don't want people to be posting to their Tumblr about how hot Gardevoir's feet look in this game. I just feel good about that. I feel like I don't necessarily understand why the Pokemon company does what it does. I feel pretty confident that I understand why they wouldn't want to do that.
Actually, maybe that would be a prong in their efforts to curb.
Interesting word choice.
The kind of the sickos, the sicko art online. Maybe they would use.
They're not Randy Pitchford.
Maybe they would use Gardevoir's feet, but only to show those ads and papers or whatever, or online about she will be the example of foot fungus, just crusty looking toenails, and does your foot look like this? And so this is kind of reverse psychology or whatever you want to call it.
Those Elsa feet online games that were a thing for a while. Fuck. God damn it. Now I'm thinking about just I'm
so sorry.
I need to move on. To move on. Please, God. John, read your own email here. That's not actually from you.
All right, let me see here. All right, John writes, I've been listening since episode 188, which I believe was called Rondo of Games. After a quick check, I realized that was in March 2010. Since then, I've moved to a new city, published a book, gotten married, had 2 kids, and lost a lot of hair. So thanks to you all, and prior host Dr. Metz, for percolating in my ear holes through the ups and downs of a decade and a half. Speaking of time, games take up a lot of it, and with time being a finite resource, I sometimes think about how else I could use it, besides, for instance, spending 20 minutes sifting through a financials report for a company halfway across the world. I love thinking about and playing and writing about video games, but I also wonder about what, then, is left on the table. So, to each of you, what would you spend your time on more if you didn't have this same near debilitating obsession?
Only 20 minutes reading about it? What do you... Do you actually love this?
Well, he's got 2 kids.
Yeah.
And?
The kids are not so concerned about Nintendo's financials, I guess.
But no, my point is the kids can wait until you've gotten really deep into the company projections for Q3. That's more important. The kids, you've got at least 10 more years before you can legally kick the kids out. They can wait. They got time.
Well, maybe you bring them into it, like teach them financial responsibility. Like instead of an allowance, I'm getting you, a part of a share. Nintendo.
I was thinking you were going to be like, as opposed to reading them a bedtime story, read them a Wall Street Journal article about the long-term financial state of the company.
Read them the shareholder questions.
Jesus, I'll never sleep again. Dad, are they stupid? Yes, son, they are very stupid. Can I also have a ticket to the theme park? No, you may not. What would I be doing? The reality is wasting my time doing something else.
Yeah.
To give you an example of what that might look like, this weekend I am building the foundation for my parents' new, I guess it's a greenhouse. So I've spent like the last 3 or 4 days just running experiments in my basement to try to build that thing without having to rely on weird and expensive hardware for this Harbor Freight ass quality greenhouse I'm going to have to build on top of it that I'm sure will definitely not be a nightmare and a piece of shit, but also so that they can't later say like, well, it'd been fine if your foundation didn't suck. So like trying to build that in their yard remotely has been, I would say, 10 hours of experiments at this point. I think I've settled in on a right combination of pressure treated lumber and gravel, and tarps and stuff. So I don't have to pour concrete. Cause again, this unit is also sold in Harbor Freight. It might last a femtosecond. But in the interim, I have done the shit like read an extended historian level document for other researchers about the Oshu Fujiwara clan who this is the year they were founded, 1087, and stopped existing 1187. So obviously their impact on history is unmatched. It's like, so yeah, I would be wasting my time doing something else that will affect me in no positive ways going forward.
I would think I would probably be obsessing over something else, right? I would think I would be doing some sort of research or something like that.
Eatmybullets.biz, where you'd be writing.
But I think it's in my personality to kind of get interested in something and then obsess over it. It's just in my personality. So whether that would be, I mean, maybe that would result in writing a book, but I doubt it, But I think a lot of us that kind of do these sorts of things, we have the same sorts of compulsions. Like Johnny was just on here a couple of weeks ago, and I can guarantee you he has that same sort of compulsion where he's like, man, I have to wrap a story around this or tell a story about this thing that interests me. So I'd probably be doing something like that. Maybe, I would think maybe it would be probably some sort of, I would say probably some sort of historical research would be what I would think, but not something that would necessarily be like a PhD, it might just be a blog or something like that, or on some topic that I'm interested in.
Right. Yeah. God, blog. What year is it? Yeah, like it wouldn't need to be anything super. It'd just be like hobby grade level writing to bring back Randy Pitchford.
Yeah, and I'm not saying that anybody would ever read it either.
Right. It's for me.
Yes.
I'm writing this for my own benefit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Because
absolutely.
If I really wanted somebody else to read it, I would probably be doing something, or at this point everything is video, so probably something on YouTube if I really wanted an audience. But I would be deep diving into some other topic that would not be video games. But it's just in my personality to do that.
Part of me was always wanted to create video essays that are like deeply esoteric, but then just swerve wildly, like 32 minutes in, swerve wildly into wrong. Just as a joke. Like it'd be like 31 minutes of absolute like hard fact to the point where people would be like, oh, this is all accurate. And then minute 32, and I'm like, so that's why the Etruscans were from space. And it's just like, whoa, what the fuck happened here?
Yeah. Yeah.
Because at some point, like, if that becomes your thing, people would actually start to anticipate, like, where the fuck is he going to swerve me?
Mhm.
Where the fuck is it coming? Like, that could be a good bit. Like, I do research for 9 minutes of content, and then minute 10 on is all mine, bitches. Here comes the chaos.
Yeah.
Like, there's a beauty to that swerve that I've tried to do in some of my writing at NWR, where, like, I'll set something up and then I'll swerve hard. Because I think there is fun as an audience member knowing the swerve is coming. And just being, like, anytime a new idea gets brought in, going like, oh, is this where it's going to happen? Is this idiot going to do something here? And then you get through that thought and you're like, no, it wasn't there. And then absolutely hitting them at a moment where never contemplated that's where the swerve could be. Like, where it feels like this is a no swerve zone and suddenly absolutely just sideswiped by the dumbest idea alive. I would probably be writing more of that, but not about Nintendo. Like, something dumb. Probably sports, honestly. Because, like, sports, you could do a lot of the same stupid shit. Like, baseball is particularly well-suited to writing 7 minutes of serious content and then 9 minutes of absolute asshattery.
Yeah. Like, for me, it'd probably be music. Like, stupid behind-the-music type stuff. Because that stuff always fascinates me. Just like,
well,
why people do, or movies, for example, too, like why certain actors take some roles and skip others and what could have been. Things like that.
Like, especially if you're going to, like, knowing your musical interests, like, that mid 90s hip hop, like, there's some shit there that's not just like, hey, this song, what the fuck?
Yeah.
But, like, who did this? Cell Therapy. Goody Mob Cell Therapy.
Mm-hmm.
That song's insane.
Yeah.
Like, the things in that song are fucking insane, crazy people talk.
And but also that was also part of a broader New World Order sort of
like
thrust
conspiracy
during that
theory
time
driven.
period. Yes.
Yeah. But
Behold
then
a pale
CeeLo
horse
Green,
kind of like this sort of thing.
But then you're like, CeeLo Green of NBC's The Voice is doing some of the craziest shit in this song.
Yeah.
And you're like, wait, what?
Mm-hmm.
How did his image go from this to there?
Yeah.
Like, there's definitely stuff you could write about like, Ice-T's a great example. Like, the shit that he was doing at his heyday, doing rap to where he's at now, you're like, what the fuck was that career arc?
Yeah.
There's definitely, like, I mean, a lot of people have been written about in that space, like, but like, people who made that move that were bigger names.
Mm-hmm.
But there's definitely, like, I would say half the members of Goody Mob have gone on to do something else where if you go back and look at their early work, you're like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Like, if you didn't know where they came from and you ran into it then, you'd be like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
This shit's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Cause it is. Like, there's some stuff from that era that's absolutely goddamn wild.
Yeah. For sure.
What's Big Gip up to, John? Do you know?
Big Gip, I don't know what he's up to. No. They're all alive.
Oh, okay.
I think, Cujo, he was in a car accident and he lost his leg.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah.
That's rough.
Mm-hmm.
That's rough.
Yeah.
I can't remember there's 4. I can't remember what the 4th one was.
Yeah, it was CeeLo, Cujo, Big Gip, and... Oh, God.
Rhyme, Timo.
Yes, you're correct. Yep.
Why do I know that?
I don't know why you know that, actually.
Because I was like 5.
Yeah.
I think it's particularly at some point I ran into Cell Therapy and I'm like, what the fuck is this song?
Yeah.
And then I went down a black hole of just like, I need to know more.
Mm-hmm.
If you've definitely heard that song, I would say there's probably if you're our age, you've heard that song, you probably haven't heard the lyrics. You should go read them. They're nuts. They're like, I mean, you're right. It's weird. Like everyone's in the New World Order shit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
There was a few groups in the mid 90s that were kind of trading in that whole thing. That concept.
Yeah, there's some stuff in there too where it's like, oh, this feels like now. Where they're talking about like inoculations, and I'm like, what?
Yeah.
Wait a minute. When was this written?
Yeah.
94? What?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It's something. It's something. Guillaume, what would you be doing?
I don't know.
If we hadn't imprisoned you in this video game shell.
Well, as you know, I started my online career on the IGN boards. But initially, I went there for like their DVD boards. I was collecting DVDs. I was discovering movies. Like I had recently, I guess, gained enough confidence to try to watch movies in their original English. So like the advent of DVDs was something that allowed me to do that, right? Because otherwise, like I go to the video club and the VHSs, they're all dubbed. You know, like that was not, I could not watch the original version of anything, basically, unless it was on, playing on CBC or something. So I guess maybe like I would be like some movie snob. I still love movies though, and I still like, lately I've been making an effort to go more often to like the little independent, theater. They were showing like some classic Hong Kong movies recently. That was kind of a blast. So I don't know if I'd be like constantly discussing movies online, but I might be more of a little bit of a movie snob. But also, like, probably I'd just be watching TV a whole lot. I feel like that's what my parents were doing. Like, they don't have video games. What they do, like, they would sit in front of TV and watch a lot of it. I feel like if, that's probably realistically what I would do. Like, I would not be productive and creative. I would just keep, consuming. It would just be a different media. Growing up, like, I wasn't, like, doodling. I wasn't, like, trying to write stories, even though I like to read. Like, I never felt like I was a very creative person. So, I don't know. Like, unless something happened in a parallel life that would jolt me into thinking, like, and trying some creative pursuit, like, I don't think I would be doing anything. It's kind of sad. One thing that I'm considering getting into is photography, because it's something that seems like you can still learn on the late, and you don't have to, like, develop motor skills necessarily for it or anything. And I do enjoy, like, sometimes I, even with my phone, I manage to frame something in a pretty interesting way. And so I feel like that's almost accessible to me. The thing that's stopping me is the high cost of the equipment that you might want to have if you want to really get serious about it. So, I don't know. It's something I'm kind of considering, because I do feel like I'm missing that kind of creative outlet. So yeah, like that's basically what I've been looking at for the past few months, almost a year now. But I'm still hesitant to take the plunge. So yeah, I don't know.
You can start small with your phone, just taking pictures with your phone.
Yeah, already, like, I have to get creative. Karen has her binoculars for when she's birding, so I just like, can I borrow that? And then I try to line up the lens of my iPhone 12 with the binocular. It's very, very hard. It gives very mediocre pictures, but it's interesting looking, kind of. Mm-hmm. I don't know. It looks better than if I tried to digital zoom the crap out of something. Anyway. Yeah, like, I do have a few shots that I like that I've done with my phone, or I borrowed, like, my mom has a kind of a one block, like, interchangeable lens camera that she bought a long time ago that seems like it should be good, but it's too freaking old. I think it's from 2010.
Yeah.
And I've borrowed it, and I was disappointed. I was like, well, this has got such a bigger lens than a phone. Surely it must be amazing compared to the phone photos that I can take. But no, like the pixel count, I think, is just a little bit too low to be really impressive on a big screen. So it's kind of too bad. At some point, I'm hoping maybe I can get the equipment I need before I go to Japan. Like that would be ideal. At least then I can, get some quality pictures from like an awesome, perhaps when it's a lifetime vacation. We'll see.
Cool. All right. Emails, send them. rfn@nintendoworldreport.com. No dramatic voice this time. Just regular voice. Regular voice James with regular voice email address. This is the part where I ask Greg for music. And if you have been around the show long enough, you know that when Greg knows he's going to be out, he is gracious enough to send us some music. And he notes to me, I thought we might go with Connor's recent request for closing music from Dragon Slayer: The Legend of Heroes 2 for the PC Engine CD, a track named Stopper. Here's what Connor said about the song in his email. Recently, Idea, the Cosmic Fantasy Valis Collection guys, mentioned that they're porting all of the PC Engine Falcom games worldwide, including Ys 4 and the other JP-only ones. I figured this would be a fitting time to get some good PC Engine songs on the podcast again. And I think this is a good pick. Stopper from Dragon Slayer 2 for the PC Engine. It is very in line with modern Falcom tunes and is one of the most famous BGMs. Cool.
Right.
I actually know the song. It's pretty cool. So on that, it is time for us to go. Bye, everybody.
Later.
Bye.
Five.